welcome back to our channel. In this video we will do revision of class 12th general English. So first of all we have chapter 1, Hassan's attendance problem. So who was Hassan? A student of MCA. What type of a student was Hassan? Bright but irregular. How would Hassan study? Only near the examination. What kind of a teacher was Sudhamurthy? Kind and loving. How would Hassan beg for attendance? In a pitiful manner. What promise would Hassan make to his teacher? To improve himself. What was the reaction of Hassan's father during the parents teacher meeting? He did not bother much and said that only time would teach Hassan. What was the reaction of Hassan's mother? She started crying and said that Hassan was not in her control. What did Hassan say to his teacher after completing his course? He thanked her for her kindness. Who came to meet the narrator in her office? A salesman of computer software. Actually, he was Hassan and he came to meet her. Why couldn't Sudhamurthy recognize Hassan? She couldn't recognize him as he looked quite an average person, whereas all her former students had become rich or famous person. Hassan had dash responsible for his problems himself. Hassan became small salesman of computer software. Hassan was told by his dash to live separately father. The sentence old habits die hard was spoken by Hassan to his teacher. Excellence does not come by accident but by practice. Hassan was a very regular but responsible student. False. The parents teacher meeting was quite fruitful. False. Sudha Murthy at once agreed to meet her visitor. False. Hassan was told by his father to live separately. True. Hereafter we have chapter 2, The March King. On the day of concert, Philip went to play a game of baseball. What is the name of Philip's best friend whom Philip told his secret to join circus Ed? What is Marine Band? This band is the official band of President of United States. After bakery, Philip did not feel like playing baseball because he was too tired. What was Philip chosen to play in concert? Violin. Who scolded Philip at the bakery? Baker's wife. Who revealed the news of Philip's selection by a circus band leader to his mother? His friend Ed's mother. Who gave shirt to Philip for concert? Mrs. Asputa, wife of his music teacher. Who was Charlie Bakery owner? Philip wanted to be magician. True. Philip had decided to join the circus. True. Philip loved to work at the bakery. False. Philip was widely applauded after the Washington Post march was played. True. Name the newspaper which held an essay contest. The Washington Post. How old was Philip when he accepted leadership of the Marine Band? 26-year-old. Philip was utterly exhausted after working at the bakery. Philip was enlisted as an apprentice to study music in Marine Band. Mrs. Asputa's nimble finger pinned enough tucks in the shirt. John Philip Sosa became the leader of Marine Band. Philip wrote more than 100 marches. So hereafter we are going to do chapter 3, that is thinking out of the box, that is lateral thinking. What is lateral thinking? Lateral thinking is nothing but thinking out of the box or thinking differently. Where did the farmer and his daughter live? They lived in a small village in India. The moneylender was old and ugly. The term lateral thinking was coined by Edward de Bono. Thomas was a millionaire. How much amount did Thomas borrow from the bank? Thomas borrowed $5,000 from the bank. Where was the bank situated? The bank was situated in the middle of New York City. How long did Thomas stayed away from the New York City? Thomas stayed away from New York City for 2 weeks. Thomas paid $15 as an interest. What was the brand of Thomas' car? It was a Ferrari. Who introduced day and night matches in cricket? Gary Packer. Next, Australia experimented with 2 different captains for test and one-day matches. Who is the author of this chapter? The author is anonymous, that is unknown, and it is an adapted chapter. Nowadays, T20 matches have become very popular in cricket. The Ferrari car was parked in the bank's underground garage for safety. The girl intelligently warned and changed an impossible situation into an advantageous one. What did the girl notice? The girl noticed that moneylender had picked up 2 black pebbles and put them into the money bag. The girl and Thomas the millionaire both used lateral thinking to win the situation. New York is a big city. Forgo means to give up. Hereafter we have chapter 4 on saying please by A.G. Gardiner. So first question is same. So second is who trampled upon the writer's toe? The bus conductor. Words like okay and no problem keep the machine of life in a good working order. False. Unkind words are more painful than physical injury. A gloomiest person can make the sad person cheerful. False. The conductor behaved in a very decent manner. Good manners are infectious. True. Bad manners poison the general stream of life. The author was bored in a plane. False. What does not compel us to be polite? Law. The liftman threw a dog out. A passenger out of the lift. What did the liftman want passenger to say? Please. Discourtesy is a legal offense. No, it's not a legal offense. One has to pay penalty for being boorish. False. Law will permit me to retaliate with reasonable violence. What would city gutter run if total liberty is given? Blood. The pain of a wound to our self-respect may poison a whole day. Who bullied Captain Absolute? Sir Anthony. Whom did the fag kick? Page boy. What type of damage do not get any allowance? Moral and intellectual. Chapter 5 The Story of My Life. Name the author of The Story of My Life, Helen Keller. At what age did Helen publish her autobiography? 22 years. Name Helen Keller's teacher, Miss Anne Mansfield Sullivan. When did Anne Sullivan come to teach Helen? 3rd March 1887. How old was Helen when Miss Anne Sullivan came to teach her? 6 year 9 months. It was just a mispronunciation. Doll was the first word that Helen learned. The Little Blind Children Perkins Institution sent a doll for Helen. Laura Bridgman had dressed the doll sent by blind children. Helen learned dash words and made the letters correctly. Pin, father, stand. So, all of the above. Helen had a tussle over the word. So, mug and water. Helen dashed the new doll on the floor. True. Helen and her teacher walked down the path to the well house. True. Light, give me light was a wordless cry of Helen's soul. True. So, how did Anne Sullivan teach Helen to communicate with others? By spelling words on hand. Helen Keller became blind and deaf at the age of 19 months. Dash is a form of lip reading. Tedoma. Braille is a language that helps the blind to read. True. Which word revealed the mystery of language to Helen? Water. Could Helen understand the difference between mug and water? No. What is Aaron's rod? A magical rod that blossomed and yielded almonds. Chapter 6 Two Gentlemen of Verona. Name the writer of Two Gentlemen of Verona, A.G. Cronin. Where did the narrator and his friend drive through? Foothills of the Alps. Who was Logie? Driver. What were the boys selling? Wild strawberries. How did the boys look? Shabby and skinny. How old was Nicola? 13 years. How old was Jacopo? 12. What did the two boys do for their livelihood? They shined shoes, sold newspaper and fruits, and did many other odd jobs. Who was Lucia? Nicola and Jacopo's sister. How old was Lucia? 20 years old. What did Lucia aspire to be? Singer. Why did the two boys work hard and endlessly to pay the hospital bills? Lucia was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. Plata was 30 kilometers away from Verona. Dash was a place of interest in Verona. Juliet's Tomb. A large red roof pillar surrounded by high stone was a hospital. Who was the woman at the village? A trained nurse. Work was scarce in Verona. True. War had not broken the spirit of three children. True. The two boys paid the hospital bills every month. The two boys paid the hospital bills every month. False. Dr. Hereafter we have chapter 7 in celebration of being alive. So, first question is Dr. Barnard designed artificial heart waves. The spot of accident was inspected by the police. Nowadays, it is easy to rectify the heart problem. The business of living is celebration of being alive. Dr. Barnard was a pioneer in the heart transplant surgery. Dr. Barnard considered the suffering of children heartbreaking because of their total trust in the doctors. Dr. Barnard suffered from broken legs, falls. The writer learned an important lesson about life from the two boys. True, Dr. Bernard's life was hit by a car while crossing the road. Suffering ennobles you and makes you a better person. Who said these words? So, writer's father, the blind mechanic, provided power to the motor, and driver steered a dad with one arm. True. The writer of this story was inspired by two brave youngsters, those who have a positive attitude in life move forward in spite of physical suffering. Brave people defy all pain and set an example for others. The writer's brother suffered from an abnormal hurt. The doctor had closed a hole in the heart of trolley driver. The mechanic was 7 years old. The shoulder and arm of a trolley driver were amputated. As a doctor, the writer found the suffering of children heartbreaking. One can become a better person if one experiences suffering through. Chapter 8, Gadri Babas in Kalapani jail. The freedom fighters were kept in lonely cells. So do not get confused in two words. कई बार हम बिना सोचे देखे मतलब देखा एलो जहाँ मतलब ध्यान नहीं देते यहाँ पे टिक लगा देते बट लास्ट ऑप्शन देखते हैं ध्यान से कि लोनली यहाँ पे वी है यहाँ पे एन है राइट. सो second question, who committed suicide in Kalapani jail? Indhu Bhushan. How many Ghadris lost their lives in Kalapani jail? 8. The weather in Port Blair was very inclement. The first group of political prison belonged to Alipore conspiracy case. So A वाला सबसे पहले आते हैं ना A अल्फ़ाबेट्स में. So A वाला ही first group था. Who continued the hunger strike for 4 months in Kalapani jail? Prithvi Singh Azad. What was the color of turbans of the warders? Red. Who slapped Superintendent Murray hard in the jail? Chatar Singh. Name the revolutionary who died in hospital due to severe beating. Bhan Singh. What did David Barry ask the prisoners to follow the rules and order? V.D. Swarkar was a revolutionary based in London. The penal colony was created to torture the rebels and the hardened criminals. The highly educated Ulksar Dutt was driven to insanity. Permanent Jhansi was threatened by the jailer. V.D. Swarkar's book became a Bible for the revolutionaries. Jailer David Barry was a good-natured man. False. The Ghadris Babas were tried in Alipore conspiracy case. False. Mandle conspiracy was also known as Burma conspiracy. True. The Kalapani jail was constituted of 690 cells. True. Ghadar party was organized to launch an armed struggle for the freedom of Burma. False. So thank you so much for watching till here. So do not forget to like, share and subscribe for more such videos. Till then, stay tuned and keep studying.